two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're riding and Denton, they here, they get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all Lee. The two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes of Wrestling podcast with your boy Ryan and your boy Denton, and it is our WWE edition, and we are so glad that y'all are tuning in, whether you're looking at our beautiful faces or just listening to our stunning voices. However you're doing it, we're glad that you are joining us, and we're excited to talk about this week because we had a lot of good things going on in WWE,
gosh,
and I think we got a lot of things covering because we got to do like the Saturday Night's Main Event, then like Raw and NXT, and I also think you're going to talk a little bit about the Netflix thing, correct? Are we getting into that? And then something that happened after Saturday Night's Main Event that I'll let you break down after it's over. So we got a lot of stuff to kind of cover. News-wise, do you want to take that into the Netflix, or what do you want to do with that, Ryan?
Yeah, no, we've got a lot to talk about, a lot of fun things ahead. It was a crazy week in the WWE. Sometimes it's a little too much. I mean, we had a show on Friday, a show on Saturday, a show on Monday, a show on Tuesday, a show on Friday, and here we are. So, and then AEW has a show on Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, pay-per-views now next week. So it's a busy week ahead for the foreseeable future, but. When you think you're supposed to wind things down around the holiday season, wrestling just kicks it right back up. Right,
yeah, and happy holidays to everybody too.
Yeah,
obviously,
absolutely.
this is one of our holiday last episode before everybody starts, to have Santa coming under the tree. So that's good.
Yeah. What's your before we get? What's your go-to Christmas movie?
Well, I mean, it depends. So, in my opinion, the greatest Christmas movie of all time is Elf. So I watch that no matter what.
Fair enough.
But my go-to, I am that dude who has his TV on TBS for 24 hours with a Christmas Story running over and over and over and over. So I would say that's my go-to because I have it forever. But now with my kids too, and they've gotten a little bit older and more, now we also watch Home Alone and we add in, other things. I'm not going to say Die Hard because that ain't a real Christmas movie. But yes, so those are some of the. So you disagree?
Yeah.
So what are yours? You asked me.
So my favorite Christmas movie of all time is Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Greatest Christmas movie ever. I will die on that hill.
You forgot Sinbad, but yeah, continue.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Phil Hartman, Sinbad, all of them are great in it. And then, but I would say my the greatest Christmas movie of all time is Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. I love that watching that movie, and my kids are at the age now where they love it. But I don't know if anyone has seen it. It's on Disney Plus, but it is a fantastic Christmas story with Mickey Mouse, Goofy. Donald, Daisy, all of them. It's like separate 4 stories combined into one movie.
See, I enjoy Mickey's Christmas Carol more.
Yeah, I like that too.
Than the newer one. Mickey's Christmas Carol was something I watched as a kid over and over and over again that I always truly and didn't know that it was like a actual that's the introduction to Scrooge McDuck and stuff. I was like, Disney created this, and then you find out no, they didn't.
Right? Yeah, no,
they 1,000 different ones.
Yeah.
My son just told me today he's never seen the real life Grinch, so we're probably going to watch that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
because that's a good one too, and he hasn't seen it. So
yeah. All the Grinch movies are good. The original cartoon, the Jim Carrey one, the one that came out a couple years ago,
the what Doctor Strange or whatever. It's good.
They're all good. They're all good.
It is.
Yeah.
So, for real. Well, and we have a whole. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think Home Alone 2 is better than Home Alone 1, but I still think Home Alone 2 is highly overrated.
I mean, it's legitimately the same movie, just one's in New York. That's really the only. I mean, but I do like it. I like the doves more and the toy store, and the fact that guy was like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna leave billions of dollars in a chest and bounce for the night. Nothing bad can go wrong." Leaving a ton of money.
And then the dad, like they got free Christmas from Mr. Duncan and his toy chest. Kevin saved the day. The Plaza Hotel bullied Kevin McAllister with the stolen credit card and everything, broke into his room. They got free Christmas, and the dad wants to get pissed that he has to pay $867 in room service. Like, you lost your son twice, dude. Like,
yeah,
in back-to-back years, one of which when you were in a foreign country, and you're over here, like, just pay the damn room service and shut your mouth. So,
and $800 coming from a guy who is able to live in a house that he lives in and pay for 15 people to travel across the world all the time. So obviously he's doing all right. Yeah.
Yeah. So pay the room service. Like, you lost your child.
Right? Yeah, I love that too. When it's like, you had to eat and live. How dare you rack up my credit card bill?
Exactly. Like, and like, you could dispute the charges, you know?
Yeah, you 100% could. Yeah, I didn't use those. But well, with us saying we have a busy episode, there's a little Christmas stuff. So we're gonna start with Saturday Night Main Event. We'll go into the Netflix thing later.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because that was on Wednesday of this week.
Yeah. All right, perfect. So Saturday night's main event, we got Drew McIntyre defeating Sami Zayn to open the show. Liv Morgan defends her title against Iyo Sky. After the match, Rhea Ripley comes out and they have a huge stare down. Gunther defeats Finn Balor and Damian Priest, with Finn Balor taking the L to defend his titles. Chelsea Green becomes the first ever United States Women's Champion by beating Michin, because everyone thought she was going to win that match. Cody Rhodes defeats Kevin Owens to defend his gold and close the show, I think.
So they think.
And that's the Saturday night's main event in review. So we have different feelings about this episode, but let's hear it. I'll always start with Ryan. So let's go.
I thought this whole event was much ado about nothing. I thought they set it up as a PLE style event, which, you know, it deserved it. It was a great card. It was and it's not to say it was a bad show. It just, nothing happened. You've been hyping this event up for a while. It's kind of your December PLE for during this off time between Survivor Series and the Rumble. That, you know, where we don't have anything. This was like the December pay-per-view, and you did everything right. You threw it old school with the referee gear. You had Jesse the Body Ventura on commentary. There was a lot of great stuff that they did, but the show itself left a lot to be desired. The stuff that we saw on camera. So after the show went off the air, Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes and brutally attacked him, hit him with a pile driver to the point where Cody Rhodes was taken out on a stretcher. And it even led Triple H to come out and snatch the Winged Eagle belt out of Kevin Owens' hands. And the two of them got into like a heated altercation to the point where Kevin Owens even shoved Triple H. And I think if they had put that stuff on the air, this event would have been so much better. I think it would have, to me, I rated maybe a 5 out of 10. And I think airing that on, airing the Cody Rhodes pile driver, airing the Triple H altercation, would have taken it to a 7, maybe an 8 out of 10. But for me, I just kind of, it was what it was. The highlight of the night, of course, was Chelsea Green winning the Women's United States Championship. Very well deserved, but everything else was just, you know, Liv Morgan versus Iyo Sky happened. It was a good match, but not a lot happened. Finn Balor took the loss in the triple threat match. We all kind of expected, I think. But yeah, I mean, it was a solid show, but just no real surprises. Not a lot of big things happened. And I think if they had aired that Kevin Owens stuff, the show would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I don't know if I just remember Saturday night's main event, because I watched SNL as a kid, and I remember when Saturday night's main event was on NBC right before it and so on. And I don't know, just watching it all just really, really brought me back. I was actually surprised on how great Jesse the Body Ventura did the entire night, just introducing and then on commentary for the main event. He was, I don't know what he wants to do with his life right now, but if he wants to come back and do commentary, holy cow, bring him on. That dude was money. He didn't miss a beat. And I would assume that he isn't watching wrestling as much as he obviously should, as we do, or a normal announcer would be. And he was just spot on. It's just old school commentary. That's how it was, man.
The thing that I liked about it was that he was unbiased. Like, he was ripping on Cody Rhodes. He was ripping on Kevin Owens. He was ripping on baby faces and heels. He didn't matter. It didn't matter who it was. He was going after him. Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. He was going after Sami for teaming with Roman and betraying him. Same thing with Cody Rhodes. He teamed with Roman. He started this whole thing. He is a bad friend. So I thought it was very refreshing compared to what we have now.
I agree. I liked it a lot, and I just like the whole feel, but it is starting to make me think, because I'm not about like the surprises. And I saw a lot of people go online and say like, oh, we're so just inept to, surprises. And if you don't get surprises, then that means the show is bad. And I don't need surprises in the fact that I needed John Cena to appear or The Rock, or I mean surprises, meaning that you're going to hype this event, like you said, like it's a PLE, and you're not going to give us one shocker of a winner is what I meant. Like, why would you go with Michin instead of Tiff? As soon as Michin won, you knew she was losing. There was a zero. Nobody in that arena thought. But if you had Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green, then at least that would have been a surprise. At least her winning would have felt a little bit bigger. Once again, Finn Balor, you couldn't have him take the win. You couldn't. Like, Gunther's just on this like extremely high title reign right now. There was just like nothing they could do different, like, to kind of give us something that we didn't want. And it made me kind of feel like, okay, they're announcing another one for January. Now it's just like a money grab, right? So like the Winged Eagle, I love the Winged Eagle. Is it just a money grab? Because now Kevin Owens, after this, is announcing he's defending it. So he's going to start defending it at the Holiday Tour, which is pure genius and gold.
Great stuff, yeah.
All for it. But once again, yeah, like, that to sell Saturday Night Main Event merchandise. And if we're doing it for that reason, then count me out. I want it. If you're going to make it feel special, then it has to feel special. You're right that the card didn't feel special, but every match was good. Chelsea and Michin was okay, but the outcome made up for it. It was good. And then, like you said, in the main event was good, but we already got the shocker on the internet once. You're doing it again. And that was to start the feud. We already have the hate. You didn't have an extra 5 minutes to cut off to show them that, because imagine Tiffany Stratton and this card is perfect.
Oh yeah.
You don't need a shocker. You don't even need Finn to win. You could just have that, because that was a shocking moment, right? That was the shocker. And Triple H instead wanted to give it to the internet instead of on TV, which NBC paid for to have. So that's my downfall on it. But I still like the card. I give it away. I think it was like an 8 out of 10. But I enjoyed it. There was nothing that I sat through. I liked the feel of it, and it felt old school. Just even the commercial breaks, everything they did, it just felt like my childhood. I can see how somebody younger than I wouldn't have enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought for that, for the nostalgia. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I certainly enjoyed the show. I just think that, like you said, it needed more shocking moments. And imagine if Chelsea Green and Tiffany Stratton did wrestle for the women's U.S. title. Chelsea Green wins, becomes the first women's U.S. champion, and then in the middle of the celebration, Tiffany Stratton cashes in her Money in the Bank to take the belt off. Talk about a shocking moment. I think that would have been a really cool way to do it. To ruin Chelsea Green's big moment and maybe turn her babyface along the way too. But I mean, I was happy with what they did, but I just wanted something a little bit more.
All right. I agree. And once again, thank God for Chelsea Green and underboob. Holy cow. She can win every match if she's going to do that hand raise every single. They showed it again on Smack. They did not. They were like, no, we got to keep showing this angle.
Yes, sir.
Zack Ryder. Congratulations, Zack Ryder.
Speaking of, he's
or
wrestling,
Matt Cardona. Sorry.
He's wrestling right now against Chris Jericho at AEW, or Ring of Honor Final Battle. Yeah, they're last pay-per-view.
What channel is that on? YouTube?
I don't know. I think it's Triller TV or something.
Oh, probably. Is it on that? Okay.
But fantastic. He's competing for the ROH championship, so we'll see.
I'm sure he's going to win it. All right, you ready for some
better than Jericho?
Raw? Well, I mean, Jericho owns New York. We'll get into that in our other episode. All right, Monday Night Raw, baby. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's get into it. CM Punk opens the show to talk a mess about Seth Rollins, who is in the crowd to also talk about mess. He works his way downstage, and they brawl all over the place. A Judgment Day praise Finn Balor. Sort of, I think. I don't know. They mocking him? Probably. We'll see. Seth Rollins wants Punk ASAP. And then him and Drew McIntyre talk nice, kind of. Dun, dun, dun. Somebody had a prediction. We'll see. Braun Breaker defends against Ludwig Kaiser. Rey Mysterio Jr. tells the New Day they aren't allowed in the locker room to add to his deadbeatness by becoming a deadbeat friend now to his resume. War Raiders want the titles. CM Punk and Seth Rollins will happen on Netflix. Rhea Ripley gets a title shot for being alive. Sami Zayn attacks Drew backstage. Uh-oh, get it, Sami Zayn. The Miz is forced to face Dexter Lumis next week, and Cross tells him he'll learn what happens when you make a deal with the devil. Zoe Stark wins a three-way to advance in the IC tourney, which was kind of a shock. Chad Gable has nothing to do, so he's back to facing off against the Alpha Academy, but he wants to finish on once and for all. It looks like we're getting Penta pretty soon coming to Monday Night Raw. The PFC crushed Cara Zane's arm. And in the main event, the War Raiders, a tag team that everybody wanted to win, defeats the Judgment Day to become the new tag team champions. And nobody cheers, but one guy on my comments on TikTok said they did. And that's to close the show for the Monday Night Raw review. I would love to re-show that ending because nobody cheered. So get that. There was like a dude in my comments. I saw the post blew up. I got a good views with it, and that so some guy was so disgusted at the fact that I made fun of. I mean, there were a lot of people on there that are like, War Raiders are awesome, and I'm like, you don't really tell me your favorite War Raiders match. Go get out
against
of my
the Judgment Day on Monday Night Raw.
On Monday Night, yeah, with the tag title. I mean, if you want to get into that part, we can. I mean,
I want to. Yeah, we'll start there, and then we'll kind of.
That was you in the comments.
Yeah, no. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like this match at all. I thought this match was. It was what it was. And to me, I think the thing about it is when Jey Uso won the Intercontinental title, he won it at 10:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and had 25 minutes of a celebration of everybody yeeting in the crowd. It was okay, in the show already. We get it. He won the Intercontinental title. Chelsea Green just had a big moment at Saturday Night Main Event, and she got to celebrate. It feels like the WWE just does not care about the tag team championships whatsoever, because it was, the War Raiders won the tag team titles and okay, that's it. Good night, everybody. See you next week. And the show goes off the air. No bigger assist occurred in Boston other than the one that Damian Priest just went. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And okay, see, and they're celebrating and the show goes right off the air. They don't even show the full celebration. And just a few weeks ago, Johnny Gargano turned heel, and in the middle of their celebration, to when they won the tag team titles, Michael Cole gets up and walks up to go interview Kevin Owens, just completely killing that vibe. And then whatever's happening with the women's tag team championships too is just it is what it is. But it just feels like the WWE does not care about the tag team titles. And so as a result, I don't care about the tag team titles. So I did not care about this match. And I'm happy to see Ivar back. I'm happy to see the War Raiders back because I think one of them went through a pretty gruesome neck injury and just came back. So I was happy to see that. And I'm happy that they're the War Raiders now and not the Viking Raiders again. But I'm glad they got their original name back. But the WWE doesn't care about the tag titles, so why should I? And that was kind of my attitude watching this match.
I fully agree with you. And it's not just me crapping on the War Raiders, just the fact that the War Raiders aren't positioned to get that. At least when DIY won, it was okay, DIY won. They're doing the whole gimmick thing. They're trying to get people to boo them. They're the War Raiders literally came back, have wrestled really nobody, are coming back from a name change and just win the tag team titles. It's they were just I guess you guys are next. We need it off Judgment Day. I'm fine with taking off Judgment Day. They don't need the tag team titles. It doesn't matter. It needs to be real tag teams. And it looks like they're trying on SmackDown side because now DIY won and they're gonna feud with the Motor City Machine Guns, and we got other tag teams working their way in. But there was nobody better on Raw. And then I made a post. On my post, I also said that okay, if you're gonna have them win, I get it if the plan is for the New Day to take it from them, right? Because heels and baby faces. And people crapped on me for that. Why would the New Day suck? Why do they need to win?
They don't need them. Yeah, I saw those.
They suck. The New Day suck. One of the longest reigning, most title reigns ever, just turned on Big E and need something going for them when their whole thing has been about how they can't win. So them beating the War Raiders in a few weeks for the tag team title, that's a bad idea. It always, this isn't just wrestling. This is everything in general where people just like to like things because they know nobody else does. So they pretend they like it. Like nobody likes the War Raiders. Well, no, I do. I love the War Raiders since day one. So they're the greatest. You are an idiot. Do you even watch pro wrestling, bro? If you don't think the War Raiders have it, you don't even know what you're talking. Like, it's just nonsense. It's like you don't like the stop. You don't like the War Raiders. You didn't like them before this whole thing happened. Let's not pretend. But you're right. Tag team division feels unimportant. It has felt unimportant. When we get into AEW, we're going to talk about how their tag team titles feel unimportant.
Oh my God.
It's just tag team wrestling is just right now just slowly but surely dying. And I don't get it because some of the biggest things I have when I think about my childhood memories are tag teams. When I go back and think about some of the greatest things, it's all tag team memories for the most part.
Yeah.
And Triple H is all about bringing the old school back. Let's go, bro. Let's go, Trips. I mean, he's trying on SmackDown. Let's see if we do something with the Viking Raiders.
That's why I'm hoping that the New Day,
War Raiders, sorry.
Yeah, the New Day they're like they're the only thing interesting in the tag team division right now, and they couldn't even they can't even change in the locker room with the rest of the guys on Raw. So,
why don't they listen to Deadbeat Friend, Deadbeat Dad, Deadbeat Friend?
I told you, man. People don't want to boo Rey Mysterio, so that's why they had to get him included in the whole little story.
You
there.
did call that,
but like he's like the most likable guy. But no, he's a deadbeat who got his son a BMW when he wanted, or he got him a Mercedes when he wanted a BMW. Yeah.
So such disrespect.
I know.
Like, that guy needs. Like there's places for these kind of dads, right? It's called jail. Like, don't abuse your children, sir. And he did with a belt on national.
And he cheated in that match, by the way.
He did. Both times he's cheated. Both times he's wrestled him and won. Anyway, we can
outside interference. The second, from Travis Kelce or Jason Kelce of all people. But no, the tag division needs a shot in the arm, and I think New Day could be the one that gives it to them. And I really hope that this is a short title reign for the War Raiders, and that they eventually lose the belts to the New Day.
Kind of like they did with Fire and Dawn. I'm okay with that. So
yeah.
All right, you want to talk about some opening or what? Or you got?
No, I want to get into the Punk and Rollins thing because I'm torn on this. I'm torn on I'm torn on the match being official for the Raw on Netflix, and I understand why they're doing it for that show, and I get that it's like, it's the biggest show ever, most likely for Monday Night Raw. So they're stacking the deck. We're getting Roman versus Solo. We're getting CM Punk versus Seth Rollins.
I love you, Solo.
I love that. But I don't know. This feels like this was supposed to be the main event of night one of WrestleMania last year. We didn't get it, and now they're giving it to us on a Monday Night Raw. And I don't know. Like I'm not knocking it, but I also just kind of feel a little let down that we're not going to get this match at WrestleMania. And maybe it'll continue at WrestleMania. I don't know, but it sounds.
They're going to have more than one. Yeah, they're going to have 3 matches.
But it sounds like all the rumors right now that are going around the interwebs is that it's the favor is going to be Roman Reigns versus CM Punk at WrestleMania on one of the nights, and I don't want that at all. But I don't know. I don't know. I want Punk and Rollins to be great, but I don't know. I'm torn on this match being on the Raw on Mania or Raw on Netflix. I feel like it's a WrestleMania match, and I feel like they should drag it out as long as they can to WrestleMania, especially with this transfer portal, and they could go to different brands and stuff. Keep them separated.
You got to keep them separated. The crawl man. It's so funny because I don't want to dog you right now, but I'm going to dog you a little bit because, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan right now is saying that he's kind of disappointed that these matches are going to be on the Netflix on Raw. I guarantee you that if we both go to this event, all of a sudden Ryan's going to be loving that these matches are on. He gets a, but you know what? The prices are WrestleMania prices, so I'm not even. They're like $500 to get in.
Yeah,
so,
I know. I saw that too.
We're still paying to get in, but I just want to throw that out there.
You're right.
Dog
you're
my
right.
dude over here. Dog my dude a little bit.
You're 100% right.
You're gonna be like, dang. I love it. I want some more.
I love this. I love this, Solo.
I love you, Solo.
Take my money.
But for realsies, like Solo and Roman was supposed to be Mania. Seth and Punk were supposed to be Mania. And I actually don't think we're getting Punk and Roman. Punk, his favor is the main event, WrestleMania. I'm sorry to break it to you. I don't know if Punk and Roman without a belt main event night one. It might. But why not Punk versus Gunther? That sells itself there.
I just
I don't
don't
see
understand what Paul
Roman.
Heyman has to do with that. That's the only. And how does Paul Heyman get him the main event spot of?
I guess then he can get him the Roman, but he can't get him the main event. Yeah. So either
Yeah.
way, but that's the favor because Punk's never main evented WrestleMania. So that's what we're going.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who he wrestles as long as he's main eventing. But no, the Punk and Rollins stuff, it's funny because I was like kind of bored of it when they came back and they started talking. I'm like, we're doing this again. But then I realized like, oh shoot, it's not Adam Cole and MJF. So at least they're doing it right, correct? So I'm like, okay, I do like it in that sense. You're right that I think it feels too big, but I think they're gonna do Netflix and then possibly, I don't know, other Saturday night's main event, and then maybe Rumble or Elimination or Rumble. They'll end it before Mania somehow, but they have to do 3. And I do think Punk's going to get the upper hand. Obviously, I can see Seth winning on Netflix though, but it's main eventing over Roman and Solo, which is a little mind-boggling to me that would main event. I feel like it feels big, but Roman and Solo is for the tribal chief, the necklace, and I'm assuming the bloodline name. I think they're wrestling for everything, right? Isn't this all happening? And that's going to open Netflix? Like
there's also a rumor that there's going to be a tribal chief championship introduced that like similar to the Rock's People's Championship.
Oh, that they can walk around with.
They're going to have I guess only Samoans can wrestle for it or something, but I don't know. I think that's all a bunch of hearsay. I hope they don't do that.
That sounds. You can't have a racist belt, and I don't mean like. Can I wrestle for it? Are you Samoan? Then
no.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get your white
Can Sami
Zayn
win the title?
He is an honorary. He's Sami Uso. They got shirts that say it. But I like. But to talk about them on Raw, did you like what they did? Did you? Or do you like Seth? Like, I can smell your assholeness or whatever from all the way up here. Whatever.
Some of the lines were a little cheesy, but
I thought so.
But in some of Punk's references, I'm gonna be honest, went over my head. But I mean, like I like that Punk was mocking Seth Rollins. He said that he's gonna come out with that stupid song, and he even did the Seth Rollins.
He did a good Seth Rollins impression. He did the dance and the walk and the
laugh. Yeah, all of it. I mean, that was great. But then he kept it going. He said the song was stupid like 6 times. I was like, okay, like we get it. Yeah. You think the song is stupid, but and then Seth Rollins not coming out through the song and his music never played once, which I thought was pretty cool. To they didn't get to hear that stupid song, even though Punk wanted it. I like what they did. I just I feel like Netflix is too soon, but. I'm still excited for the match, and if we do go, you're right. I will be marking out pretty hard. So,
heck yeah! I hope we go. I hope we go to that New Year's Evil. New Year's Evil is a lot cheaper. But we could sit front row at New Year's Evil for like $300. I think we could sit in the front, bruh.
Let's do it.
We can smell Trick Williams. I want to talk about something really, really that actually, really quick, the Seth Rollins CM Punk moment. The baby stole the show. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh yeah,
Seth was in the crowd. That mom was like, like, but that baby like had no care. Seth was like all vicious. She was like, I don't care. My baby is in this shot. And it was a mom. She held that baby.
MVP of the week. Spoiler
100%. That's like the dad who's like holding the baby and with a beer and still catches like the fly ball. Like, you know what I mean? It's like pretty impressive stuff with his bare. Yeah. I want to talk about Karrion Kross, and I know you might be like, why? But I have always loved Karrion Kross, the end. But I dogged him for a while because he was transitioning his hair, and I thought he looked really stupid because he was supposed to be this scary dude, but I thought he was scarier bald, which he just talked about with Chris Van Fleet, that people say he needs to go back to being bald. And he's like, it's my character. It's not what I look like, right? Either I'm going to be a vicious character or I'm not. But he looked really, really, really good. His hair was more like poofed out. It's gotten longer. His beard's kind of going with it. He looks to be in the best shape ever that he's ever been in. But he is just starting to figure this character out. And I don't know if it's just because he's getting more time, because he's always been phenomenal on the mic. But I liked everything he said to The Miz. That whole scene was really intimidating. I was more scared of Karrion Kross than I was of the Wyatt Six. He looked like a no nonsense. And I love that line of like, you'll learn what happens when you make a deal with the devil. And I just loved it. I was like, dude, this is like it. And I know they're probably going to lose to the White Six, but it felt good. The Miz was intimidated. I like all this. That like the Miz is like in the Final Testament, but he's really not. He's like the R-Truth kind of, where he's like in it, but he's not. Yeah. And him and Dexter Lumis have a history. So I really like that. I liked all of that and what they were doing with it. So yeah, I dug that part. I just wanted to throw it out there that Karrion Kross had a really good time.
He's growing on me. I have not been the biggest Karrion Kross guy since he came back. And left the hourglass in the ring with Roman Reigns, and then never feuded with Roman Reigns, and it was just, but he's kind of the guy that's setting the table for a lot of the things that are happening,
Is he not? Everything he's done, those people have.
Yeah, like Dirty Dom turned heel after he feuded with Rey Mysterio, and
Roman lost the belt, Karrion Kross, or Xavier Woods, Miz.
Everything. So he's planting all these seeds without even. So he's kind of playing a bigger part, and I hope that they kind of allude more to that as his character continues to evolve and he starts doing other feuds and winning other matches, because I think it's a pretty cool thing for him to do. And so I am digging Karrion Kross in a big way.
We didn't talk about it. Did you like the Seth and Drew? You kind of foreshadowed that you thought they were going to have like a Shield type of thing. They haven't brought up Kevin Owens yet. But did you like that? Because they were nice, but they weren't. Like Seth's like, I just still don't know what I think about you.
Yeah, it was
like he didn't want to like completely deadpan it, like, hey, bestie, but then at the same time he left it open for.
It was very weird. I like the idea of Drew and Seth and even KO kind of forming like an uprising faction against everyone that's teamed with the Bloodline and taking them out one by one. And I love what Drew said. Drew brought up all these good points that like, hey, we have the same enemy. We, we can, if we work together, we're stronger together than we are apart. So let's do this. But then Seth Rollins was like, I took down Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And you know who else took him down? Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. And they were my friends. And it was like,
that did come in.
It was like, okay, but you were just mad at Sami Zayn last week for teaming with Roman Reigns. And that's where that's where I don't trust you. You're not my friend. And it was just, I don't know. I thought it was very strange. I get that they're trying to plant the seeds. I think it's going to happen eventually. And this was just the first of many seeds being planted with this potential faction. So yeah, I didn't like what Seth Rollins had to say, but I love what Drew McIntyre said, and I like the idea of this faction.
Yeah, me too. All right, anything else for NXT?
I don't think so. It was a solid fun event of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, it was. I like the 2 hour. I'm sad that we're going to get back to, they're all going to go back to like the 3 hour. They announced that SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown's
spoiler it now. I like 2 hours. I don't know. I like it. I know you want the 3 hours back. It's easier for me to take notes. It's easier for me to finish all the episodes weekly. And I don't feel like we're losing storylines off of it. Like I said, they have Karrion Kross on Raw. It's like
I was worried about that, but since they moved to 2 hours, it has felt, the first episode felt really off, but then they picked it up since then, and it's flowed a lot better. It's been a lot smoother, and yeah, it's been a great show. And yeah, so I don't know if I really want SmackDown to go 3 hours either, based on what I've seen so far from the 2 hour Raws and the 2 hour SmackDowns we have.
It's just too long, and they just do it for more commercials anyway. All right, let's get into some NXT.
Okay.
It was a jam-packed show too, right? NXT, jam-packed. And then we'll talk about the press conference of Netflix after this. All right, which you're going to have to fill me in on because I only saw some clips. So I'm hoping you're going to enlighten me on it all and I can comment. All right, let's get into NXT. Right. Oba. Baby. Oba defeats Axiom to open the show. Eddie Thorpe will be champion tonight. Carmen Petrovic and Dion Lennox, they hug, and Shanti says he's telling Nikita Lyons. I don't know what's going on with the storyline. Meta 4 defeat Zarya and Sol Ruka. I repeat, Meta 4 defeat Zarya and Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka takes the pin. Wes Lee, he actually respects Tyreek Agu, I think is how you say it. He respects him for questioning his tag team partner. Jada Parker defeats Ren Sinclair. Shotzi, Paxley, and Gigi Dolan are all best friends, and they're still in middle school. I don't know. They're like playing with dolls and stuff. It's cool. Fatal Influence and Fire and Dawn bicker backstage. Axiom and Frazier defeat Gallus to defend their tag team titles. Javon Evans loves Hank and Tank. Lexis King trains with Charlie Dempsey so he can face Charlie Dempsey. Ethan Page out to feel sorry for himself. Javon Evans, who loves Hank and Tank, also loves Ethan Page. So well, guess what? Ethan Page lays him out. Oba Femi is ready for Trick at New Year's Evil. In the main event, Eddie Thorpe and Trick Williams ends in a double pin since everybody's shoulders were on the mat and confusion is going on to end the show. And that's the NXT review. Where do you want to start, my dude? It was a kind of weird episode.
Very strange episode. Yeah, I don't know. I like the Ethan Page. I'm gonna give him some credit. The callback to Shawn Michaels of him losing his smile, and
I loved it.
All of it. I think like Shawn Michaels is notorious for all these little HBK callbacks, and it's only him. It's only his stuff that he calls back. He doesn't call back anything else, which I find pretty fun. Like
including the main event.
Yeah, including the main event.
It's another callback. Yeah, which HBK and Triple H. Yeah, he constantly. Yeah.
But it's always his stuff. It's never like let's redo the Undertaker. Let's create a streak and have somebody snap it. Like it's just I threw somebody through a barber glass shop window. I'm gonna have Gigi Dolan do that. I'm gonna have Ethan Page lose his smile because that was my thing. So, but no, this episode was all over the place. I didn't like the main event. I guess it added some intrigue with Trick Williams and it's just
Eddie Thorpe.
Yeah, Eddie Thorpe. I mean, the match was great, and Eddie Thorpe impressed me. I wasn't going into last week. I thought it was a smart way for him to get out of the Iron Survivor Classic and sign the contract and not even have to compete in that whole thing and attack himself. But then you were like, well, he's going to lose. It doesn't matter. So like, what's the point of this? So I think this adds a little bit of intrigue to it and kind of keeps that thing going for a little bit. But I don't know. The episode was just all over the place for me.
Where did Eddie Thorpe come from that now he's not only getting a title shot, but he's not even losing to Trick Williams? Like, how does this help? Let me explain Trick Williams' like title reigns. He won it, and then he got pinned by Ethan Page, who fell over because he got beat up, and then he lost his belt, and then basically disappeared from it and didn't get a title shot again until way later in the future after Ethan Page defended it a bunch. And then he wrestles Eddie Thorpe, who came out of nowhere, who had a great strategy. I'll give him that. It was very smart, but now he can't even beat Eddie Thorpe. He has to take a double pin. How is that giving me like Oba Femi's over here being a man among men and destroying everything that comes across his way. And now I'm supposed to believe that Trick Williams is going to beat him when he can't even beat Eddie Thorpe. Like Oba Femi and Eddie Thorpe, that's not even like
no.
Is that even going to be a fair match?
And Oba was going to wipe the floor with him. And I think he was in New Japan for a while, and then he's been in NXT apparently since 2023. But
no, and I get that, but he came out of it's not like they've been like building him up in the past. No, that's what I mean. It's just like the War Raider. It's just like let's just put him in and win a tag team title. You're in, Eddie Thorpe.
You're gonna pin Trick Williams. So
he technically did.
Yeah.
I mean, he pinned him.
I don't like those endings because it's good. Trick's not going to drop the belt. It's going to be Trick Williams versus Oba Femi. It's not going to be Eddie Thorpe versus Oba. Like it's not.
No.
Yeah. I get that this is a way to kind of drag things out a little bit and kind of give Eddie Thorpe his opportunity to shine. But I still I did not like this ending.
I'm assuming this episode was already recorded too, right? The next one, because it's Christmas Eve. So I'm assuming it was already recorded. So I'm sure there's already stuff out there. Sol Ruka, I made a whole post about how I think she's the best thing going on in wrestling and NXT in a women's division, which I think is the best women's division in all pro wrestling. She has the look. I think she's the best wrestler. You heard me. Better than Julia, better than all these Stephanie Vaquer, better than all of them, Roxanne Perez. I feel like she's great on the mic. She has it all. And they were just teasing her to win the title, and they had a match for her. And now she's taking a pin against the Metaphor in a tag team match with their other person, Zarya, who just was hyped for like weeks upon weeks and just debuted a month ago. And they have her and Sol Ruka taking a pin. What are we doing here, Ryan? I'm confused on what we're doing with two of their better stars. I think Sol Ruka's the biggest star. I'm gonna die on my sword saying that. I do. And I don't understand what we're doing right here, having her take the pin and Zarya taking an L. I don't
get that
Metaphor.
either. Yeah, and it's not like we were saying with Eddie Thorpe. Metaphor hasn't been featured regularly either over the last. It's just randomly, hey, we're gonna have you pin Sol Ruka, and it's just why? Like, what was the? You just brought Zarya over. She's had that dominant reign, the dominant run when she first got there. She's looking like a beast. She looks like a future NXT Women's Champion. Sol Ruka is a fantastic performer and should be the first ever North American champion, and should be the current North American champion.
Yeah.
It should be the Iron Survivor winner and everything. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. Maybe they just don't see it in her. She's got a great finisher. She's got a great look, but I don't understand why you have her lose to the Metaphor of all things.
Yeah,
it makes.
I'm not saying she's buried. I'm just saying it doesn't make.
No.
I like. What were we do? Like, why take the L in the first place? Are we building a storyline with all four of these women? Or we do like? I just don't see the point of it. One thing I do get and that I do like, and I think people don't. If you want to make this the last thing, is Axiom and Frazier. I like them going back and forth, wrestling twice, finding a way to defend their tag team titles. And I gotta say, in a division where we were talking about AEW possibly and WWE lacking in tag team, I think NXT is doing a lot with their tag team division right now. And I like Axiom and Frazier, and I actually think that their run right now, they might be the best tag team in wrestling right now. They're pretty exciting, man. And I know people are like, oh, it's just building to them to lose. Perfect. It'll probably be the War Raiders. I can't wait. But either way, you know what I mean?
Day.
Yeah, the New Day. Yeah, right. They're building at least to that. Right, it'll be the Metaphor. They're building up to like have those people dethrone them and have it mean something, because they are still finding ways to win even when they are defeated. And it's just like, I like it because now they did like the drop kick thing and they hit each other. So we're slowly building to them finally separating. I really, really like it. I've dug Axiom and Frazier. I've looked forward to them wrestling every week on NXT.
Yeah, no, they're certainly carrying the tag division in NXT. I wasn't a fan of them bickering all the time. That was getting old. And then they kind of got on the same page there for a little bit. Now they're kind of back to bickering a little bit. But no, I am digging it. I mean, the way that these guys, the way they wrestle, I mean, they're carrying the tag division on their back, not just in NXT, but in my opinion, all of WWE. I think they're the most entertaining tag team that we have in the WWE at the moment, and they're the best, and they're the champs. And I think they deserve a lot of credit. Word.
All right. NXT review and WWE week in review. Another good week, I think, in WWE. They are cooking, and when you are on fire, you are on fire. But let's talk about this real quick. We got the WWE Netflix Raw Netflix press conference. I mean, if you want, you could just bring up if anything really happened. I know there was a couple things with a Logan Paul and an announcement on this such, but I mean, we obviously don't have to talk about every single thing, but anything intriguing to bring up that people might want to know about.
So there was
other than I love you so low.
So there are a few things. First of all, they announced that the main event, like we said earlier, is going to be CM Punk versus Seth Rollins on the Netflix show. But you know how the WWE is. They haven't said that it's going to close the show. It could just be the main. It's just the main event. So it could open the show. It could be. It could close the show. I think more likely than not, it's going to close the show. But they harped on the fact that it's the main event. And then they obviously that match had been announced already, but also Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa had been announced already. But they officially announced Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's World Championship. Liv Morgan came out and cut a promo, and one of the fans was cheering for Rhea and like, "We love you, mommy." And she turned around and Rhea yelled that, "You're disgusting. Shut up." It was like fantastic. And then, it was a great moment. And then Rhea basically confirmed that she's going to take back her WWE Women's Championship, World Championship. Seth Rollins called CM Punk a bootlicker, and said that this is his company, and and that he's been carrying what CM Punk was trying to destroy. I'm trying to think what else. Kevin Owens took a tour of the WWE headquarters and there was a picture of Cody Rhodes holding up the undisputed title, or a poster rather of Cody Rhodes holding up, and Kevin Owens took a printed picture out of him holding up the Winged Eagle title after Saturday night's main event, and borrowed some guy's tape. And he went into the office, was like, "Hey, you using this tape?" And the guy was like, "Well, yeah, I am." And he was like, "Okay, great." And he took the tape anyway and
great stuff.
Put his picture over Cody Rhodes' face and said, "That's much better. That way you don't have to see the stupid neck tattoo." That was probably the highlight of the whole thing for me.
And he announced he was defending it at Netflix, didn't he? Isn't that where he announced that he was going to start defending the Winged Eagle on the holiday tour?
He's going to start defending it and everyone was like, okay, whatever. They asked Tama Tonga a question, and he did the shh, and Michael Cole was just like, okay, interesting, and they moved on. Solo Sikoa broke character a little bit when he did that, but other than that, I mean, not a lot happened. I mean, it was Triple H was there, of course. He's got to hype up everything. Pat McAfee's coming back to commentator on a full-time basis on the Raw on Netflix. Yeah, with Michael Cole. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, not too much happened. Logan Paul was there, and yeah, it was good stuff.
Logan Paul just retired, but now he signed him in at Raw. Crazy.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you for the recap. I appreciate it. They got to do a press conference for everything, right? It's just Monday Night Raw, bro. And you're making it look like it's a pay-per-view. This is going to be on Netflix every Monday now.
Yeah. So I get it. Like it's a big thing, like streaming it and everything. But yeah, we didn't need to have a press event.
We did not.
Yeah, no.
But what can you do? All right, it's time. We got a fun little thing. It is the holidays. So we're going to do a segment called our WWE Holiday Wish List, where we're going to do 3. Do you have 3? You told me 3, right?
Yeah, I can do 3. Yeah.
So I say what you should do is that you should just give all 3, and then we'll talk, and then I'll give all 3, and we'll talk. And I want to hear if you were sitting on Santa's lap, pretend this beard is full gray if I didn't dye it. And we are going to do a little bit of holiday wish list. Well, the 3 things that we basically wish of WWE. It could be anything our heart desires, anything from better lighting above the ring, Triple H retiring,
it's the video screens, yeah.
Liv Morgan sliding into Ryan's DM, whatever his 3 wishes are. Let's do it. As always, Ryan, you'll start. What are your 3 WWE holiday wish lists?
I'm gonna go number 1. Push Montez Ford. I want Montez Ford
solo.
So, yeah, as a solo character, I think they tried pushing him before. He was like the standout in the Elimination Chamber a couple years ago. And I just think that he deserves it. I mean, this guy, he's a star. The guy can go in the ring. He's great on the mic. Let's see what he's got. And so push Montez Ford. I think he deserves it. And I just want to see what he has and give him an opportunity. I mean, imagine him versus Carmelo Hayes. Imagine him versus LA Knight, him versus Cody Rhodes, him versus, standing up to the bloodline. I mean, just push Montez Ford. Yeah. Let's see what Montez can do. So that's number 1 for me. My other holiday wish list that I want to see, do not, I won't go with that one. I'll try to keep it positive, but I want to see Cody Rhodes drop the belt before WrestleMania. I think it should be to Kevin Owens. Yep. I think it could. I'd be okay if The Rock came in and said, "Hey, you know what? Me versus Cody is going to happen at WrestleMania or on the Raw on Netflix as well, and I'm taking the belt." But I think Cody Rhodes needs to drop the belt, preferably to Kevin Owens. But I think it's time. And also just give us a title change before, the world title doesn't always have to change hands at WrestleMania. Give us a surprise. Give us something that can happen anywhere and unforeseen and unpredicted. So that's my second one. And then my third one is let Chelsea Green rock and dominate with the women's U.S. championship. Do not have her have a short-term reign. Don't let her have a 3-day reign. She better not have dropped. We're airing right now during SmackDown. She better not drop the title tonight or anything. She needs to have I'm going to say it. She should be the champion this time next year for women's U.S. champions. Like, she should hold the belt for a long time and let it really do what it's meant to do, and that's elevate her to that next level. So those are my 3.
Great wish list. And those are wish lists for 2025, ladies and gentlemen, not before the year is up. But
right,
great. Yeah, great holiday wish list. I love it. And Chelsea Green, she was at my neck of the woods at my home, Disneyland, my second home. And she was there holding up the title, and she put the longest reigning U.S. women's champion of all
good
time.
for her.
I love it. I love it. Longest reign. She deserves it. This chick needed a title reign way before she got fired the first time. The fact that it took her so long the second time, it could not happen to a sexier, better person. So good list. I love it. And I already like Cody dropping the belt. He can win it back before Mania, but he needs to drop the belt. His run is stale. He needs to lighten it up a little bit.
And he's a heel now, apparently, because he used a chair. So
I don't know what he is anymore. I wish he'd be a heel. All right, mine. We're gonna have some common denominators here on my list. You ready? Number 1, my wish list could have been my only one, and that is Daddy Dom will be the world champion in 2025. It needs to happen. I predicted Netflix. Obviously, I'm missing on that, but just because you miss a little bit, even though Nostradamus missed a little bit, it's going to happen in 2025, ladies and gentlemen. Daddy Dom needs to do it. Number 2, Daddy Dom again. Daddy Dom needs to retire Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania 41 in a hair versus career match. It needs to happen. The deadbeat dad needs to finally do a solid. It's the best out of 5. Dom gets the 3rd. I predicted this last WrestleMania, and I will predict it at WrestleMania 42 if it doesn't happen. Ray needs to hang him up, and that way the New Day have somewhere to change before they wrestle on Monday Night Raw. And my 3rd holiday wish list is that the WWE signs none other than Ricky Starks. Free Ricky Starks. The dude is way too damn talented on the mic, and he's Cody Rhodes' basically best friend. Put that man in the WWE, and that's my top 3 holiday wish list for 2025.
Yeah, no, I completely, I love that idea of having Ricky come to the WWE. I think it's much needed for him. He needs to get out of AEW. Tony Khan needs to let him go. Penta's apparently coming to AEW.
He let Penta go, So
because we saw that vignette on Monday Night Raw, and then they just need to get Rey Fenix out of there too, and maybe that could help boost the tag division as well. So but we'll see what happens with that. But I love that list. It's very Daddy Dom centric, which is great. I think Daddy Dom should win the Royal Rumble. I think
that was going to be. So I was going to do all Daddy Dom, and I was like, all right, slow it down.
Yeah.
Right.
Face his dad for the world title at WrestleMania in a hair versus mask versus championship match.
So. Yeah. Hair versus career and everything. Yeah. Mask too. Let's do it. All right. That was our holiday wish list. We're going to do it again for AEW as well. So that should be a fun one. All right, let's get into it. Our weekly segment of the least valuable and most valuable dude or dudettes for the week. So this will be, we could do SmackDown too, but just the whole week of this week of wrestling. You'll start off. Who's your least valuable dude or dudette?
I'm going dude, and it's your boy Finn Balor. Taking a pinfall loss at Saturday Night Main Event, and then taking the pinfall loss to the War Raiders on Monday Night Raw in the main event. He lost back-to-back matches. His whole thing of when you listen to Finn, you win. You put, you want to win, put Booby in from Friday Night Lights. But he didn't win. And he's been losing a lot lately. And I know it's probably part of the story. It's probably leading to, Judgment Day getting tired of his antics and stuff. And we'll see what happens with all that. But how can you not give it to Finn Balor after everything he went through this week?
That's a really, really good one. And I don't know why that wasn't a shirt. When you're with Finn, you win. I mean, that's like
I know that
off the
awesome.
tongue. They also mocked him afterwards too. So that's even more of an insult. I did think I found one worse though, and that's One Trick Williams. This man is supposed to be the face of NXT, and he just had to get double pinned by Eddie Thorpe. That would be like Cody Rhodes getting pinned right now, double pinned by, I don't know, let's say
Giovanni Vinci.
There you go. That whatever happened to him? Didn't he make a return? Anyway, but that would be like that going on.
Apollo
Crews. I almost gave it to Carmelo Hayes, but we didn't talk about SmackDown. But that poor guy comes out and gets embarrassed by Braun Strowman. Hopefully he'll get his revenge. But I think it's going to go to Trick Williams. I mean, Eddie Thorpe, who is that guy, and he's just, once again, Trick's the face. You can't have the face being double pinned by, you don't build people off your champion. That's what I'm saying. You want to build Eddie Thorpe, have him beat other people. You don't have him beat Trick Williams.
Yeah.
So that's my LVD of the week. Once again, it doesn't mean we don't like the people, just
who was
booked this week. All right, positives always. Who's your most valuable dude or dudette of the week?
I'm going dudette, man, and I'm going Chelsea Green. I think, the first ever women's U.S. champion. She deserves to have a long, lengthy championship reign. She beat Michin for the U.S. championship, the same person that beat her in the dumpster match. So she came full circle with all that. You got to give it to Chelsea Green. I think this was the biggest win of her career. I hope it propels her, and I hope that U.S. title does what it was designed to do for Chelsea Green, and that's elevate her and take her to the next level. So that way now she can become women's champion in WWE. So, I say Chelsea Green, 100% MVD of the week.
Same. I'm not even going to change it. Most valuable dude as 100% Chelsea Green. She deserves it. She's already running away with it. I love these people right now, like the Drew McIntyres, the Kevin Owens, now the Chelsea Greens, who are doing so much more for their character and their pushes than just what you see on TV. And it's so great. I love it. It's good for them. Chelsea Green, I agree.
Yeah.
100%. That's our girl. Huge fans at Two Dudes of Chelsea Green.
She deserves everything.
Oh, yes, she does. Call me. All right. That's Two Dudes with Attitudes this week of WWE. We're going to catch you guys next week back. We don't have a PLE yet, but we do have, a lot of things that are going to be happening, going on with WWE to the build to not only Netflix, but to the Royal Rumble and so on. And we're almost in the road to WrestleMania, just about. I know it's the Royal Rumble now. It's February, but I think we're starting already on Netflix. As always, tune in, like it's saying right here. Please remember to subscribe on YouTube and everywhere else you see us. As always, you can catch your boy, My Wrestling Opinion, at my_wrestling_opinion on all social media devices. That's right, Mr. MWO is back, and views are already blowing up. They're already blowing up. If views are already going up, it was my dang name change. I went back, and with me, as always, is the man who figured out his name.
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go hit us up on all the social media platforms. For as long as TikTok's around, we'll be there at Two Dudes with Attitudes. Follow us there. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we've been active, but we're back now, and we're ready to commit and back to doing weekly content. So go follow us there. If you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, we appreciate all the love and support. Go give us a 5-star rating and review, and tell everyone about your favorite two dudes on the internet. And then follow me on all the social platforms as well. I'm everywhere, and we got some big things coming on the horizon, new graphics and stuff for 2025 with your logo and everything, and some other stuff. So it's going to be 2025 is going to be our year.
Heck yeah, we're going to get merch too. Two Dudes Wolfpack. Let's go.
We are out as soon as I can find the right button. There we go. It's my first day. There we go.
Congrats.
Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.